Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Chair.
All right, welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Hello, here we go. Welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast for your Wednesday. Good to see everybody. Welcome.
Welcome.
Got some of your emails to get to here. Mail at kvjshow.com. mail at kvjshow.com. I'd seen this story about something they're doing in Delray Beach where they have a new ordinance to ban aggressive panhandling on Atlantic Avenue.
So is that different than passive panhandling?
What it prohibits is panhandling within 20 feet of a restaurant and at any intersection among other places. So I thought about this story today because last night the Queen and I and Cannon, we were doing a little happy hour, and I love the 500 block of Clematis here. Very cool and peaceful and awesome little chill restaurants.
It's just west of the railroad tracks.
Yes, it is. It's a great vibe. And there were these two dudes that were there, and the one guy came up, and like I said, my wife has an eye for this. She just...
She wishes they would.
Well, she has an eye. What I was going to say, she has an eye for people that are on heroin or drugs because she worked in a drug treatment facility, and they would train them to kind of observe because it was something they had to be aware of because they would get drugs in the treatment facility. So for what she did, she would have to look for the signs that they were on something. And so she can, and it's crazy how she can pick out somebody. And I'm like, there's no way. And then sure enough, they'd be going, well, I just got off heroin. I'm like, really? Just odd things. And she came up, she's like, this guy's whacked out of his mind. He's clearly a junkie. And so he's like mumbling, he's like, hey, I need money, I need some food, just please. And he's like scratching his arm.
How could you tell he was a junkie?
Yeah, I could tell he was a junkie.
He was hissing.
Yeah.
But it was
he was trying to put the...
It was him and another guy that was in a wheelchair. And so, I mean, part of you takes over. And the one thing, it's interesting, you offer him food. He's like, no, I want to get something else. I need something. So you're like, okay.
Okay, then you don't want food.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, I can't help you out, but I'm eating at the table, and then I just proceed to watch him. He hit everybody up that was on the street, going around the tables to everybody that is trying to eat and all that kind of stuff. And look, I have a lot of sympathy for the homeless people. I hate that they're in that situation. I love to give to groups that help the homeless and do things to legitimately try to prop them up and get them food and care and everything that they need. But I realize, and it's tough because you feel like an a-hole sometimes, but giving them money is not helping them because they're getting another fix and you're prolonging what they need truly, and that's to get clean and to get back on their feet.
I saw some people arguing about this kind of issue on social media, and some people, you don't have a heart for the homeless. Here's the thing: you can have a couple different perspectives on this. You can have a heart for the homeless and want them to get shelter, and also not want people fucking bothering you while you're eating your meal outside.
Yeah,
you can have both perspectives.
Yeah, and there's been some issues. I mean, there was the issue of the person that came up to the people eating in Miami Beach and killed them.
My friend was telling me about that story. It's horrific.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Yeah, if people didn't know that, what exactly was the story, Virginia?
The guy is sitting on Ocean Drive with his family and his 2-year-old, and they're just eating out there in one of the restaurants that has now spilled into the street because there's no car traffic. And this homeless guy just walks up to him randomly and stabs him to death right there in front of his family.
Those are
Or shoots him in the head. One of the two.
Those are hard stories to hear.
It was instant.
It makes your stomach go. Just it sucks because it's such a loss of life for no reason. It happens so quick. You're doing a routine thing that everybody does. It stays with you.
But it is reality. And for these restaurants that have suffered through a pandemic, they can't have issues where people don't feel safe to eat out front of the restaurant.
Of course not. They have a business. That's their livelihood.
Yeah. And so it really is an issue. And I think that, more of us really need to get involved with the homeless situation we got in South Florida, because it is challenging and you do have this. And I saw one of the store owners came out for the guy that was sitting there. He's like, you guys got to move, man. He's like, people are not no one is coming to my business in 40 minutes because you're sitting here.
Oh.
It happens at there's a head shop me and Denny's will go to, and they have a problem with homeless people sleeping and blocking their door.
Yeah.
She has to go out there on the hour to tell them, you guys got to get the fuck away from my store. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if I have to step over motherfuckers to get into an establishment,
going in.
I'm probably not going.
No, you're not going to do it. And
It's just too difficult.
Yeah, that's why, to me, I think, these groups that are trying to do everything they can, because then you have a good alternative. Say, look, dude, you can't sleep right here. You can't ask for money right here. You need to go over here. There's a way to do this. We have created a system to genuinely help you with whatever you need. If you need food, if you need shelter, all these things you're asking for, it's provided to you here. But going around and hitting people up, and this guy, in fact, I was keeping a tally. He went like 0 for 35, I think it was. He hit up 35 people.
Because he doesn't want food. He doesn't want shelter. He wants money for drugs.
Yeah.
And I think people can see that.
Yeah, it became kind of obvious, I think, with his situation. I mean, his pants were undone, and he was just, he looked highly disheveled.
You think he's single?
Well, here's what I've been told by, we were going to bring this up as a topic on our Weird and Whatever podcast, and we never got to it. But a lot of times they'll have a group of people that everyone's got an assignment to go do. Someone's out to go get the drugs, someone's out there to get the alcohol, someone's out there to get the food, someone's out there to get money, and then they pull it all together, and that's kind of how they sustain their lifestyle.
It's a village.
It's a village. Now, that's not every case, of
Sure.
course, but if you've noticed, if you see people in groups, that's what happens. That's what they told me anyway.
Yeah, and honestly, you just got to say to them, it's like, guys, if you want to break the cycle of all this, you got to stop with all the drugs and the alcohol and all that stuff. And look, and if you're like, I'm not going to do it because this is the life I want to live, well, then you can't do it in areas like I wonder, because West Palm Beach, the park that they have there, they have where they shower and they bathe in the fountains and they sleep there, and I'm like, I just don't know necessarily like why West Palm allows that. Where it's like you wouldn't think you'd be able to just lay out, put all your stuff.
Keep in mind too, a lot of people are at rock bottom at this point.
Yeah.
And also on drugs. So when you are at that point, your soul starts to decay and starts to leave you. The spirit that is you is diminished.
Absolutely, I get that, and that's why, to me, I would like to see more be done and get more involved with groups to say, hey, look, let me help you out. Let's try to truly help you. This is not the place right here at this fountain where this family's trying to eat or whatever. Let's get a place. Let's get you going. Let's get you going in the right direction. We got food. We got shelter. We got all kinds of good stuff. A lot of times some people that are on drugs, they wean them off. So look, we can start bringing you down. Let's do something good. But if you choose to have a heroin party, you can't do it right here. We just don't allow that.
I did respect the one guy. He had a sign, why lie, motherfuckers need a beer. I'm like, all right, okay.
Some people give it to him. Yeah, so
at least he's telling me what's going on.
This aggressive panhandling measure that they're doing on Atlantic Avenue in Delray prohibits panhandling within 20 feet of a restaurant and at any intersection, among other places. Violators can face second-degree misdemeanor charges, up to 60 days in jail, and fines of up to $500. Now, they have begun enforcing the law. They started in late August, and they didn't have a lot of arrests. West Palm had passed an ordinance in December banning panhandling in the downtown area, and that's why I was confused that was going on last night, because it happened the entire course that we were out there, a good 45 minutes to an hour. Like I said, that he probably had hit up 35 people and was going up to everybody that was eating outside, trying to get money off of them. So
I love a little harassment with my appetizers.
well, it is tough because you have a story like the Miami Beach situation in the back of your head. There was also a mother-daughter that were eating on the street in West Palm, and remember, she got a shiv in the back of her neck.
Yeah,
from a
she got
homeless person.
stabbed.
Well, you also got to be careful walking up to people now in the time we're living.
Yeah.
It's not like where you can just go and, hey, how's it going? And give somebody a hug you don't know.
Yeah. So, that's it. And that's why, to me, I think that, we need to, and I would like to see the police it a little bit more to say, look, you just can't go up to people. It's not how this is. We've got this for you. This is a way to help you. We're giving you what you're asking for. You're not going to get money for drugs and all this kind of stuff. And I know because of the sensitivity of it, nobody wants to look heartless because, look, it is a desperate, sad situation. These people's souls, like you'd said, are ripped out and you got to rebuild it. And there does need to be sensitivity. But at the same time, I don't think that there needs to be so much tolerance that you give up enjoyment and businesses start to suffer and our economy starts to fall apart because we allow it.
Don't worry, you are going to receive a 13-page long-ass email about why it can't be fixed and how it can't be fixed and why that you're not going to read on the air, and you'll get your answers. It's going to be long.
Well,
it's going to be boring.
I would just like to ask, why do we allow it? What I saw last night, why was that allowed to go on?
I've heard people talk. There's reasons why it is allowed. I don't know those, but I've heard people ask that same question, and there is an answer.
They even have an ordinance on it. So that's why I was like, okay, why is this going on? You would think that one of those, especially the business owner, had to come out and say, dude, you got to get away from the door, man. Like, no one is coming in. I need business. Why does that guy not call the police and say, hey,
he probably
can you...
does. It's probably like the neighbor that has the loud music. You call, they shoo them off, and then they come back. And they're not, most of the time, they're not, it's not complete danger. They're just being annoying.
It's a non-emergency.
Yeah,
so the cops are going to look at that last priority. Probably. I mean, they probably got...
It is.
10,000 other things to worry about that are actual emergency.
It's a noise complaint at that point.
Yeah. It just, makes me wonder that, hey, in South Florida, it is a big issue for us. In other cities, it's not. That maybe we don't pour enough resources into it.
You hear that?
Should have.
Ralston's getting revving up for that political run.
Mayor Hare.
Yeah. Well, I think we should actively have people walking around that are counselors and people like that give them care and love and genuinely try to say, look, let me help you be a better version of yourself. Let me help out your situation. Let me get you what you need.
The problem is sometimes is people dedicate their time and their energy in doing that, and they get their heart broken over and over again because some people don't make the adjustment. And it's I don't think you should give up on people, but sometimes they give you a reason to finally go, I can't help you anymore.
And I think it's the meat in the middle. It's like, we're going to give you everything you need. We're going to go around to you, and we're going to do everything we can to help you out. But at a certain point, we have a line on tolerance.
Angie from Hollywood right here. You can't help people who don't want to be helped. And I'm not just speaking about a homeless situation. That's any situation.
Sure.
I really believe it all comes down to you inside of you has to make the adjustment. It only is you.
But then the other part of this is you got to go. That's the twofold of this. Like, we're going to meet you in the middle with the help and the care you need. But in the middle, you got to go. You can't bathe in the fountain. You can't make this your bedroom right here. You got to go.
It's tough to reason with people who are on drugs sometimes.
That's just where I think to some point we've got to come with sympathy and compassion. But there's a weird thing that we're doing now where we allow the tolerance of homeless people to do these kind of things that, honestly, if it were me chilling, I would imagine a cop would come up and be like, dude, you got to get out of here. What are you doing? I would just assume that.
I know, I hear you. It sounds easy, but it's not as easy as you think.
I don't know why.
Because
I don't know why. Just come up to him and be like, dude, you got to move. You can't stay here.
They're going to come back, Kev. They always come back.
And then you have somebody again that says, you got to go.
It's like it's one of those problems where it's such a problem all over the world. It's going to be impossible to eradicate.
Well, that's why, to me, I think maybe we need to put a little bit more into it, especially in South Florida, because it hurts a lot of people. So, and somebody said, yeah, really what you should do, always give money directly to the churches, other agencies that help the homeless. And absolutely. And that's what we try to do. We don't just hand them cash, Because look, there's some
No.
people that are really bad with money.
I don't even have my own children cash.
Yeah.
I need an explanation. What's this for? Where's it going? How's it going to be spent? I need a profit and loss statement from everything I give you. We should ask the same of our charity.
Yes. Just a thought. So that's my quick little rant for today on that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we finally do something more about it. The other thing they're saying too is get ready because the population, I was looking at all the cities, they say West Palm had a 17.5% population increase.
That's because everybody's been porking during the pandemic.
Now people are moving here.
They're fucking left and right. Just porking here.
In fact, I think the birth rate is down. It's the
Birth rate
exact
is
opposite of what you're talking
down.
about.
I just want to talk about porking.
Someone needs to get their pork on.
Oh, you don't know when I get my pork on. You know nothing about my life,
I
Nikki.
would love to know.
I know. You just don't know. You assume I don't have sex, which is fine.
Please tell me the pork details.
I would never.
Oh, if you've been getting it, give it up.
I like how she thinks I would be honest with her.
Yeah, you're just going to go on ahead and give her that information.
I would be honest with her, but she's a maniac. She'll every break, wow, it'll be that joke for 9 weeks. I can't do it. I'm out.
I was watching the news yesterday. They came out with the coroner's report on the Gabby Petito
Yes.
murder, strangled to death, body outside 3 to 4 weeks. She was not pregnant. Some of the headlines that you had on there. In fact, I was watching it. It was on Fox News or CNN. I had both of them on. I try to go back and forth, and I had the audio on.
To see how completely different.
I always do. I always
It's
watch
so
both. Yeah.
Funny, man.
It's really fascinating. Well, the other day, CNN, because I know their ratings have seriously dropped since Trump's no longer president. And oh my gosh, he had a rally, I guess, somewhere over the weekend. And CNN it's like nothing else in the world was going on. They were so happy that Trump had done a rally and was talking about everything that CNN wants to tear at him for because it helps their ratings go up.
They have gone down big.
I think it was a
time.
43% drop in ratings they've had since yeah, because
they acted like they hated Trump, but they
need
they
Trump.
got their fucking
Yeah.
pockets filled because of that.
Yeah, they needed him on. It was funny how much airtime and Fox News, who you would think would be covering this, didn't cover it at all. They weren't even talking about it. They were doing other things about debt ceiling, and they were doing their best to tear at Biden. And meanwhile, CNN was doing their best to tear it.
This ain't a political statement. I'm just saying.
It is
just
what it
being,
is.
Just being in
Yeah.
the media, knowing how this
Right.
shit works. CNN loved to hate on Trump because it got nothing but great ratings for that.
You give your
They
audience
loved
what they
it.
want. Yeah, and it is interesting because really what I would see, the only consistency between Fox News and CNN is they give their audiences what they love to hate. It's everything that makes them angry. Every story that was coming on would make you angry if you had a certain leaning.
Rile you up.
That's it. And trust me, I noticed with my mom, that was it. She started to become so full of anger about everything that every story was like, this is negative. I hate this. This is terrible. And da-da-da. And it's like, whoa.
Well, sometimes we'll have those topics where it's clearly one of those topics. It's designed to, what the fuck? You know,
Yeah.
you had one the other day about the beads in the hair. That's one of those topics that's designed to get people angry and what the fuck?
Well, it was an email from a parent wanting to know if her daughter, who's 4, if she would get blasted for cultural appropriation if she wore it.
But that is one of those topics that, like a BuzzFeed, feeds into to make bigger.
Well, you see that mom was scared. I mean, that's why she sent us an email because she sees that stuff and how it gets blasted on the news and social media.
Yes.
She's like, I don't want my kid to go through that vitriol and
But
hate.
the kid was the one asking for the beads, and she's a sweet, innocent little girl who just wanted to emulate the look that one of her little friends at school had. And it was from a completely innocent place.
But my point is the media will take something like that and turn that into racial divide, people getting upset with each other, not unifying people, but tearing them apart because it makes a lot of money for them.
Yeah.
They care about one color. Green.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so that's why, she had that. But I was watching the news yesterday, and they'd even had Terry Parker from WPBF popped in there and asked a question. But then they had John Walsh. And it's kind of funny. He was the first one to ask a question. And he asked the coroner, he's like, so from what you've seen, would you say that this is Brian Laundrie then that murdered her? And what kind of prints did you find from that? The coroner's like, yeah, he's like, I don't do that. He's like, I just tell you.
Cause of death.
Cause of death. And so about 4 or 5 questions go along. Like, yeah, this is John Walsh again. So how would we know if Brian Laundrie committed? He's like, look, again, John, I don't do this kind of. John Walsh was doing everything he could to try to get this corner to say it was Brian Laundrie.
Yeah.
And it was so funny. He just kind of rephrased the exact same question he had earlier. And in a different way, the corner's like, John, yeah, I don't do that. That's the cops. I just tell them the cause of death and maybe the condition of the body.
So he did it, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
The blood is on his hands.
John, I don't do that's not my job.
And then all of a sudden, Dog the Bounty Hunter, guys, my ankle is healing. I'm still looking for him.
Hey, this is Dog the Bounty Hunter. And
it's like an SNL skit.
It was kind of like an SNL skit. It's like going, hey, this is Judge Judy. I got no, like, what?
Dog comes hopping in on one ankle.
Yes.
I found a Capri Sun. We're on his trail.
Yes,
I'm icing down my ankle.
That is such an SNL skit.
This is Chris Hansen.
Yeah, Hansen comes in.
What
are you doing here?
Who's lining up these questions? I don't understand what's going on here. This is crazy. Let me see. Got more response on grape nuts, believe it or not. Jane said, I know, Jaybird, you keep disparaging them, but I'm telling you, you have grape nuts with some yogurt. Oh, man, good.
Again.
Yeah.
They don't like the grape nuts.
No one's
they
hearing
like it because of the yogurt. Every one of these fucking emails.
But what she's saying is the texture it provides makes the yogurt more fun.
But it's the yogurt
it's
that
an
makes
accessory.
it fun. It's in this, yeah.
It's not a standalone. It's not a main course.
Why wouldn't you just do granola then? At least it has some fun. Grape nuts looks like cut up pieces of hard cardboard.
People are defending grape nuts, but they don't realize they're losing their argument with their emails because they're answering my question. Yeah, you like the yogurt. That's what makes the grape nuts good.
Right.
Tell you one thing though, haven't got one fucking comment about anyone liking Hunt's.
Okay.
Not one.
That's still undefeated.
Everyone hates it, Virginia. I mean, we're at 100% Rotten Tomatoes. They
Good. Literally Rotten Tomatoes.
She goes on to say, love you guys. Come to Fort Lauderdale next time to party Crazy Horse style.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle a Crazy Horse night more than once a year.
You say that, and then you get blacked out at the wedding. I mean, only a few months after.
It's true. Damn, I hadn't thought about that.
I love it so much.
Oh.
Once a year for me. Wait.
Oh, man. Talk about giving me a panic attack. When I see the witch taken out before the sun goes down.
Shots, man. The witch, she gets cut.
It was the only time in my life I legit was worried about Virginia. Because she didn't even see the nightfall. A witch lives for the nightfall.
Not this one. Oof. I can't do shots.
No, you can do shots. You just can't do 3 of them in 8 minutes. It's all about pacing, baby.
Talking about the addictions, V had said that I was listening as Kevin was talking about how sugar is addictive. Jaybird mentioned how his mom would have this ache to have some sweets, and he has the same issue. She said, my case is I ached like this. My aches for sweets called cravings, just the way a smoker craves cigarettes or an alcoholic craves the alcohol. I had the same symptom for like 30 years. And I would run around and chase the sugar, the white flour. I was an addict on all these kind of things. Pastries and ice creams and chocolates and pies and white bread and rice pasta, all that kind of stuff was like crack to me. And whenever I ate the craving, I would get a warm, comforting feeling. But then I was followed by guilt because I was obese and my health was getting worse. So I'd go up and down on my weight. I'd never be able to keep it off. Also eat when I was happy or anxious, but also not eat for days at a time, claiming that I was fasting. I went to OA.org and took the test, which is 15 questions to determine if I had a problem with food, because I still didn't believe I had one, and I answered 14 of the 15 questions correctly.
Whoa.
Yeah, and she said, just to let you know, Overeaters Anonymous uses the Alcoholics Anonymous Big Book for our recovery, just like AA. I got a sponsor, followed the 12 steps. I'm now recovering and abstinent. I have no obsession, and I see food like normal, healthy people do. My relationships have improved. I'm not anxious or depressed. My doctor is weaning me off my depression meds. I've lost 24 pounds in 3 months and counting. I don't have any sugar cravings. I thought that I could only be happy eating cake and ice cream and chocolate, but it turns out it was just an obsession to deal with the chaos in my life that I didn't want to deal with. I was very good at pretending I had no chaos. So this is my story. I hope it helps anybody out there who's suffering like me.
And that's great that she figured that out. Congratulations. We're very happy for that. I just love food, all kind of food. I have a passion for it. I like being around it. I get excited. you gotta, for someone like me, I do really live in both worlds. I don't talk a lot about my health decisions because when I do, motherfuckers turn on me on Twitter. The junk food's just more fun to talk about. It's more relatable.
Yeah, it's easier.
Remember when I talking about lentil soup?
Yeah.
I got almost laughed out of this town. See what I'm saying?
We didn't even recognize you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really believe you can live in both worlds. Most people can.
Okay.
I just love food. I don't see myself ever not being a person that gets all jacked up on snacks. I just love them.
Jeff had sent us this on the WRMF app. We were talking, or I was earlier, about intermittent fasting, something that I guess technically I do. I had seen stories about how you need less calories as you get older, and I had read stories about functions of the body, and that when you constantly have food in your stomach, that your body is working to process that, and you sometimes need to clear things out of your mind. And there are other processes that the body needs to focus on. And when it doesn't have to concentrate on digestion so much, then it can take care of those things. Personally, for me, I was able to lose weight. I don't really have major issues with hunger, or it's not been a problem. And I have great energy, and I feel like my clarity is up because of doing it. And I've heard other people have the same. Jeff had this to say about the fasting.
So there's been a lot of discussions about intermittent fasting and weight loss as of recently. And as a health and fitness coach of over 15 years, losing weight a lot of times, especially with creating big caloric deficits with intermittent fasting and other extreme diet practices, is that you are going to sacrifice lean muscle mass. So instead of focusing on burning calories and moving the scale, we should be focusing on stimulating our metabolism and actually building lean muscle mass. And you do that through, yes, maybe eating in a caloric deficit, but focusing more on whole foods and adequate amounts of resistance training.
Okay. All right. I still keep up with the resistance training.
Yeah, I've just started doing that recently, and I don't like it, but I really do see the results.
Yeah, I nodded off. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking, baby.
I do it when I'm watching TV. Like, I'll be watching the Squid Games doing curls with these little dumbbells.
Ooh, curls, cheese curls. You know, Wise makes a great cheese curl. They do.
I prefer a ball.
I do love a ball.
If I'm going to have a cheese puff of any nature, of any shape, I go ball.
We led the league in cheese balls growing up in Lake Park.
Curl is really not made for the mouth. Ball is.
As a kid, you have to throw those balls in your mouth and take a swig of soda and let the balls dissolve in your mouth. And we call that Lake Park fun.
Lake Park fun.
That's what we did.
Lots of balls in your mouth.
There's a lot of ball mouth stuff in Lake Park.
Eric had said, I used to go to a health store. I've shopped there for quite many years. Kind of a farmer's market on 441. Known as Bender's. Well, today, while I was shopping there, I looked up at the sign and I realized it actually said Bednar's. I thought maybe they misspelled their own name, but all the workers' shirts said Bednar's. So crazy. I've been going there for years, and I've always called it Bender's.
Bender sounds like a
yes.
Get fucked up and get some drinks at Bender.
It's their last name. That they're actually, I know a lot about them. 4 generations of farming, the first major farm and market in Palm Beach County ever. Like going back to like olden times and shit.
I kind of feel like Virginia's bragging right now. She knows about the fucking Benders.
Yeah, I kind of know the inside story.
Yeah, she does. She's farm bragging on us.
Their West Boynton original farm is in the same location it was in the late 1800s.
You know, they go farm to table. That's the buzz phrase.
And if you all look out the left side of the hayride will tip over.
What?
I'm giving you the tour.
Oh, okay. She's doing improv. I like this shit. Okay, this is fun.
I'd like to see Virginia's tour guide. She's doing the Virginia's haunted hay rides.
Oh my! If she was about four drinks deep.
Can you imagine? Yeah, a hammered Virginia doing
right before. Because
hammered hay rides
during the wedding, when the wedding was going on, and it got quiet for a second during the ceremony, and the guy giving the ceremony goes, "Am I doing okay?" You go, "You're doing beautiful, motherfucker." When you said that to him, that just a little bit less drunk than that. That's when you should be giving the tour. Right, that's your sweet spot.
I would agree.
Got a problem apparently with some of the Halloween decorations going on in Miami. Got an email from Nadia, and she said, I just want to share my disappointment with the Halloween decorations in my neighborhood. We're the only house that is decorated. There's another house down the street that has a single pumpkin by their front door, but at this point, I don't know if it's decorations or garbage. I'm sending a few pictures for Jaybird to see. I think he would like it. This is what we got going on.
That's badass.
Yeah.
I love it. You have a cute house. I love your house.
Yeah, they're a house there in Miami, but apparently people in Miami are not decorating for Halloween. What the hell, Miami?
That's fun and festive. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, I like them trees.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm noticing trees in people's lawns a lot.
This is how you know you're getting old.
I know.
When you like have landscape envy.
I do. I have all these landscaping ideas, and eventually I'm going to do it, and those are the kind of trees I want. Damn. Like a motherfucker hard.
I know. I pull up to my house with my new landscaping. I just sit and stare at it. I'm like, it's so pretty.
Well, I really do love trees.
Me
and
too.
I will stare at a tree for 35 minutes just with my thoughts and that tree.
I agree.
Did you put up Halloween decorations yet, Bird?
Honestly, I've been wanting to. I am so knee deep in this movie. I don't have time to do diddly fuck right now. So,
Okay.
no, I want to, but I just don't think I'm enough time to do anything. It's
Not going to happen this year, huh?
No, maybe. It just depends on when I'm done with the movie. I know I'm running out of time for October.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got just a couple weeks left, believe it or not.
It will be ready. Just it's going to be up until the release date.
Okay. And Emily had sent us an email. She said, V mentioned there was a liquor store called Fort Liquordale. Well, just to let you know, out here in Colorado, there's a town outside Vail called Beaver Creek, and they've got a liquor store there called Beaver Liquors. Okay, Beaver Liquors.
I'm a huge fan, and I would shop there for all of my alcohol just to support that kind of raunchy creativity.
I'm sure they're crushing it. Yeah, Beaver Liquors, I'm sure it does well.
When you see places like that and you're a little twisted, we all have to support that.
I remember that was the first word you said on the air. I go, oh my gosh, can you say beaver on the air? When I first got on the show, you go, oh, she showed her beaver, Cav. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Could you say beaver? Oh yeah, can you say twat?
No, you cannot say twat.
I don't think you can say twat.
But thanks for checking.
There's a lot of questionable words that, technically, I guess by the FCC standards you could say, but you still, I don't know, maybe shouldn't. I don't know.
That was one of the first events. We had a Lily Pulitzer thing we were doing, and your wife was dressing me up in an outfit that did not fit me. It was 2 sizes too small.
Oh, no.
But I guess I had to walk the runway for this modeling thing. This is the very first thing I did, and you were drunk getting into a limousine that we had rented, and you accidentally showed Caitlin your vagina. You walked in and go, oh, I'm sorry, Aunt Virginia showed you your beaver. Caitlin's like 5.
Yes.
And then you said it on the air a week later.
Sorry, kid.
Yeah. Sorry, kid.
It's always been your word.
Astra sent an email, said, I am a bourbon guy, maybe gin or whiskey. And Kev, I hear you like the tequila. Never had it other than just taking shots. What's the best way to drink tequila as a drink? Would love to give it a try. I am not any kind of tequila enthusiast. I've just recently started drinking it, so I don't necessarily know what I do, way I like it. I do like it chilled. I know I'm probably going to freak out a bunch of true tequila drinkers.
But it's all about how you like it. No one can tell you what your palate's ready for. If you're not hardcore, sometimes you can't drink it straight up neat. You got to have some ice in there.
Well, that's why I never take food critics or wine critics seriously, because what they're deciding what's good or bad. Well, what they like, I may not like. Me and Virginia have totally different palates.
Yeah.
To say what something's better than the other, or their opinion knows, fuck that shit.
Yeah. What I like, the way that I like to drink it is I like the Don Julio. That's probably my favorite that I typically get.
What's that per bottle?
I got just kind of a smaller one because they're having supply issues. And it was either get a smaller one for like $20, or they have one for like $100, and I was like, just give me the 20. I just didn't feel.
I know there's times where you go in there and go, I'll get two bottles, like $180 for two.
Sometimes when the bottle's so big, you just look like I'm walking out like, okay, what an alcoholic I am.
They already know.
I mean, there's already a lot of questions about just what grade of an alcoholic I am.
They know I am because I beat the person at the Publix liquor store. Like, they're opening up the door, unlocking it. I go, hey, you're finally here.
So I felt by walking out with a smaller bottle, even though I'll go back and get 5 in the next week. I'm like, I'm a small alcoholic. I'm not a big alcoholic.
Small alcoholic.
Hey, I think the Publix liquor opens at 8. It was 7:50. I'm waiting outside.
I'm there so early too.
With some other dude who clearly has an alcohol problem.
Yeah. So what I do, I like the Don Julio. It sits in my freezer. I pull it out. Got kind of a nice little. It's in fact, it's one of the glasses that we got. They use it typically for beer, so it's not a traditional shot glass, but it's kind of a small little sifter glass. I squeeze some fresh lime in there, and then I put in the Don Julio, and man, it's frozen and chilled and great, and that's how I like it. That's how I drink it, and I sip it. And for a while. And it's good because, you get the relaxing feelings of it. You're not shooting it down. You don't barf. You don't have more than like 3 of them, and then life's good.
My friend the other night, he kind of wanted to go down the same path as you. Learn about tequila, taste different tequilas, see what he likes and what he doesn't. Yeah. Ice, no ice, a little squirt of lime, no lime. And so he had the bartender do like several little flights of like half shots of tequila. So he could literally just taste like 6 different tequilas, taste like ice or no ice, lime or no lime. And after his little mini flight session, he figured out what he liked and how he liked it. But most bartenders will do that for you.
Yeah, and if you go to a place like Viva La Playa there in Lake Worth Beach.
Oh my gosh. Chef Jeremy and that crew, they are tequila experts.
Yeah. They have bartenders that really know their stuff, and so they will help you out. The one thing that I will tell you with tequila, just to let you know, a buddy of mine was telling me that he was up at Alton Town Center, went into a bar, and his wife's like, yeah, just give me the best shot you got of tequila. And she got her bill for $212. $212. It was a shot of tequila for $212.
Was it good?
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but I don't know that she's any kind of aficionado. She didn't know. She's like, oh, just like a nice tequila, and I can't. It was maybe the name of the bar, Waxen's. Waxen's. I never even heard of it. It's a new place, a Waxen's restaurant and bar that they got there. They've got a bunch of new places in Alton Town Center.
They do.
Yeah. So just be careful that if you ever try that out, kind of get the price guide first to find out.
Waxen's. That's the place that on the outside, instead of saying restaurant, it says restaurant.
I know. I didn't get that here. I just read it restaurant. I'm like, I read it restaurant because I'm like, that's got to be a typo, right?
It says restaurant, but it also says it on their website. So it seems to be purposefully done, all the while confusing, but at least they're not doing it by accident.
Okay. All right.
What the fuck is a restaurant?
I don't know. Thanks.
Restaurant.
I'm looking on their website. I don't see anything.
Yeah.
Explain the rang.
Okay.
Get the poo-tang at the restaurant.
Oh, let's go.
All
Hey, it's my kind of restaurant.
Po-tang.
Thank you for all the emails. Appreciate the conversation. Mail at kvjshow.com. You want something brought up on the ATS, check it out. Make sure you listen, subscribe, share, all that kind of good stuff. And we'll see you back here tomorrow.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.